right, we're on. Welcome to the Mental Performance Playbook here by the Athlete's Health. Upgrading the podcast. You're learning some mental exercises, some stories through people that we talk to, the athletes, the coaches, the leaders, anyone that we get on our game here to learn a little bit more about their journey. So hopefully we can take some stuff out of it. This is actually gonna be pretty sick because this will be one of the first guest podcasts that we do since I kind of revamped and made the podcast its own thing and not just the Athlete's Health, but I'm pretty fortunate to have this one be what it is to kind of kick it back off because this is going to be another perspective, right? A D3 level perspective, the different side, but still the hustle is why this one's going to be so cool and to see the journey and everything else. So I'm going to love this conversation, everything we're going to take out of it. But our guest today is Sam Tokpa. Oh yeah, got that one perfect. But Sam, been through the journey, right?
Yeah,
And I don't want to say anything that'll be missed that I didn't research correctly, but I think I want to hear it from you. But Sam, if you want to introduce yourself fast, we're gonna get in the conversation. We're just gonna have a good time talking about athletics, life, everything in between. So kind of give people the rundown of yourself, my guy.
yeah. My name is Sam Tokpa. Just finished college last Sunday. Graduated with kinesiology, health promotion, physical activity. Currently, I got 4 offers for jobs, so I'm trying to select one for August. Yeah, yeah, me, you know.
Not a
um,
bad.
yeah. So in college, I was in the football team, played defensive end and defensive tackle. Back then, I was 230, 240. Now I'm like 200 pounds, so I'm way different.
Dang.
But but I did football. I did ISA, so International Student Association. I was the events coordinator for that, so I helped a lot of international students have fun, could do some bunch of fun stuff on campus or outside the campus. I was the vice president for ski snowboard, so a lot of more events. And then, I'm a very connecting guy. I've connected with legislators, I've connected with CEOs, I've connected with business owners. So I've met a lot of people. I'm also connected with, I say the most famous person on my phone right now is Cobra Albert. She's plays Olympic soccer for US. Now she's at Paris right now. Um, and I know her
PSG?
family. Huh?
She's on PSG?
PSG woman. Yeah, female. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, female, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I met her last summer and her family, and she was helping me coach soccer, and we switched contacts, and now we're like cool buds. So, so that was pretty cool. That's pretty much me. So far. Yeah, I'm just growing up, I say. Yeah.
Growing up, as you say, but the first thing, so obviously, dude, we're just gonna weave and flow through this. Obviously, we'll talk about kind of your backstory and everything else,
Yeah.
and then where that's going. But the first thing that's standing out to me as we're gonna get into this, dude, and your journey specifically is all those events that you are a part of, all those people, the connections you have, right? You just said you were a part of all those different groups, organizations, and you've really kind of networked is
Yeah.
something that I see is pretty important. Now, there's a lot of other people on the football team. I know some of the other coaches on for some of the different sports at Cornell. And so my point with that is there's a lot of athletes there. What what has set you apart to do all these other things? What's been the motivator? What's been your thought behind it? Because
Yeah.
you don't have to be going to do those, but the fact that you are is obviously opening up some other
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah. But what really caused everything to spark up is for my injury, my sophomore year at college. I tore my ACL meniscus from football. Yeah, it sucked.
Oh,
Because from
yeah.
high school, I was all about football. I enjoyed football, so I had a football mindset. I just want to keep going, and then I strive for trying to get scholarships or offers and stuff like that. So I came to Cornell, but it's just that injury that caused that change of mindset shift of it. Because if I feel like it was good and bad, but it helped me change a different perspective. What should I be doing in life, not just football? You know, because soon enough, everyone's gonna be done with their sport. Soon enough, someone's gonna be done with their job. Soon enough, something's gonna end. And I had to realize I have to think about long term or plan B, um, something besides football. Because, like again, we're getting older. I'm only about to be turning 22 next week, and it's like soon enough we be 30, 40, 60. It's like we
Yeah.
time is so short, and it's like you have to take the chance to like have another plan for the future, because if you stick with one plan, it's like having multiple incomes. You can't just focus on one income. You got to focus have multiple revenues income. Again, that injury helps me spark up how to help me start connecting with people, how to start with how to make finance and help myself in the future, stuff like that. I just realized I need to do better. I need to grow. I need to do something for myself and not just for the sport. I love the sport. Again, I still love the sport till now. But it's just that time, like I have to find something else that will benefit me long term.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's loving the sport and athletics in general, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I do, and then there's that whole identity piece too, which you are just hitting on perfectly. And this is something that I want to get. I want to know how you got out of this, because so often we might get hurt in anything, or it doesn't go as planned, right? And that identity is wrapped in, and like as you were saying, probably high school and your first 2 years, football player, football player. That's who Sam was, and then the injury, that bad injury too, 2 tears, not even just one. You have to give it a new perspective. How did you really kind of come to? How did that come to show itself to you that like you realized, okay, I need to find. I need there's more to the identity. It's not just football player. How did you really stumble upon that? Because that I can see how you are going to be tackling life. You're going to be doing great things, but that's hard for a lot of people. So how did you kind of figure that one out?
Yeah. So it started all that in my dormitory. Since I had that injury, it was so painful. Like the ACL sucks, surgery sucks in general. So I was in my dorm, and I was like in my room, just do a classwork, because sometimes I got to move to Zoom for myself because sometimes I can't walk, because in Cornell we have like a specific dorm that there's like no elevator. So I was in the third floor. So imagine me up, like trying to go to
No
class.
elevator?
Yeah, no elevator. So it's like I have to like it's like I gotta do it with crutches. It was really tough. So I like sometimes I go in Zoom. It just and in my room after Zoom, after doing my homework, it just is like I can't work out. I can't really do anything. I can go eat, do homework, and do my PT, but that's pretty much it. And I was like, all right, I got all that done, but I feel like I should be doing more, you know? Like humans should be doing more. Like, I was like in my head doing more. So a guy named a friend named Aiden back in college, he does photography for business, and then he hooked me up with a mentor. He lives in the Des Moines area, and it's like taught me how to build a mindset. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm down. Like, who doesn't want to learn something new? So I had the Zoom meeting, and and this was the time I'm trying to build a business that time, because I'm trying to make, like I said, I'm trying to build a future. I have like an income and business coming soon, so that's what I'm trying to build, like long term. But I was listening to him, just like, dang, he got some good keys, good stuff, about mindset, and it got me realizing, like, yeah, I need to do more, like something. Like I can't be sitting down and do nothing. Like I literally cannot be. I'm an active person. Like in high school, like I did like football, tracks, wrestling, soccer. I did soccer and track in the same season
At the
in
same
high school.
time.
Yeah, the same time. So it was like I'm a go 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 person. So it was like I need to do something, and I'm in college. I got to do something. So I started learning how to build mindset. I've been learning how to read people skills. That's why I got better with networking. Read People Skills by uh, uh, I think Dexter Yeager. The book is there's People Skills by Dexter Yeager. Good book, amazing book.
I haven't read that one.
It's a great book. It hit me in a nail. Like back to your question, it's just like that dorm, the injury caused me to change perspective on life, and like I just need to like do something. I just can't sit around. Like there's no way us humans can just sit around just wait. We have to do something. We
Do you
have
ever
to.
take any do you ever take any personality tests, Sam?
Actually, I did. I
I
did.
might set you up with a couple. I'll send them over. I'm gonna be because I'm really curious to see what yours turn out to be.
Really.
Uh, yeah, 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 and they'll be free. I'll send you maybe I'll pay for one of them. I'll keep it cheap, but I want to see I want to see what yours turn out to be. We'll talk about it later. Um, but because it goes exactly what you're saying, right? So you were going through it, but you kind of were reflecting on it. Like, were you crutching down the stairs to go get meals and everything?
So since there's 4 floors, and at Olin, that's our dormitory. My sophomore year, we have like second floor has like a little door opening, access for campus safety only. So they let me go through that door, and I go all the way to the first floor to go to like the entrance. So I was lucky enough. Campus safety. Oh, campus safety would take me on a golf cart all the way to like to get some food and stuff like that. But like, yeah, there's times I have to crunch from third floor to second floor, and the shower sucks. Oh my gosh, bro, it so sucked so much. I was like, sometimes I look at crunches like, oh my gosh, give me PTSD or something, because it's just like I just can't. I hate them, you know. But yeah, I go down every single day. Second floor, go up. Third floor, go down. Second floor, go up. Third floor. Sometimes I have Zoom. Sometimes I don't have Zoom because it's not optional. Since I'm a kinesiology major, I have to take like anatomy classes. What else? Anatomy classes.
Physiology, sometimes,
Physiology
man.
stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it was a lot of work.
yeah.
Um, it was a lot. So I had to like go down, go up, go down, go up, go down. It was an exercise, and I liked it, but
You gotta the thing with all that though is not always, not all the time, but a lot of times when you're starting to do some great stuff, you go through a little bit of struggle, and you know sometimes if you really want it, you can create it yourself. You can create those struggles, and that's kind of what you do to keep going, right? You keep that motivation by sometimes those not as good things just as much as the good things, but a lot of other times the great stuff comes out of the harder times like what you went through, and that's really is what it sounds like. Obviously you're still a great personality and everything up to then, but that really kickstarted some other stuff, some new stuff, because you still completed football the rest of your time at Cornell, right? I'm
yeah,
pretty sure, yeah,
yeah.
but you just had a different perspective on it, which was quite insane. And one thing in regard to that, because we can talk about networking and the things you built, skills through that. But before we get to there, one of the things I love to hear is from all different sports, these cross paths. But what were some of the biggest traits you built, habits, skills through all of football and the practices and the games and the preparation and the film and just everything about it? What were some of those like one or two that you take with you still to this day that still help you get going and reach that next level?
Yeah, obviously communication is one. Because I think I was so bad at communication before. Now my communication is way better than, because football coaches are like, see the difference between high school coaches. They're really nice. They're nice to you. Like college, oh, they're rough with you. They're very rough with you. It don't matter if you're Division 3, Division 2, Division, where they're really rough with you. They want trying to beat you. They want to make sure you're a man. They make sure you're tough enough. They make sure you do all this. Because we have like fall camp, and fall camp is literally meant for people to leave, basically quit. Fall camp is meant to people for quitting, and they want to see who is willing not to quit. So I didn't want to quit. There's a lot of takes a lot of communication, commitment. So first one would be communication, and second one would be, I believe, consistency. Because you have to be consistent in everything. You have to be consistent in football. You got to be consistent in practices. You have to be consistent outside of football. Um, because if you don't have that consistency, nothing's going to be balanced worked. You know, if I don't be consistent of networking, my my communication with them would be bad. So
Hmm.
you have to be consistent in everything. Doesn't matter how to be on the football field or places. You got to be consistent at work. You got to be consistent in business. You got to be consistent in everything. Because if you're not consistent, is everything falls apart. You have to build yourself again. Because once you have that drive and that fire, I'm telling you, you're unstoppable. So it's communication and consistency. It's probably the best two skills I gained so far. Um, Other one is physical health. As a kinesiology major, I have to be physical fit. It makes sense. Um, But
Hey, hey, let me get this perspective for you, dude. This is I'm not changing the subject. We're coming right back to this. I was just typing some notes to make sure because you said some cool stuff. One time when I was going through school, I was in this dietetic class. I think you'd think you'd be pretty physically fit, right, if you're in a nutrition class. But we had a debate, and after this, the teacher said we're never going to do it again because I said that you would think most of the time you would be somewhat a nutritional healthy role model. There
yeah,
are some students in the class who were like, I mean, maybe you're not, but you can still tell people to do it. And I was just like, I don't know about that. But the
yeah,
teacher, the teacher played, and I played pro side. I said, I actually, we did like a test before, and I was one of the only people who understood the other side more than like the obese side more than the non-obese side. Everyone else understood the non-obese side, but I was still like, I don't like you gotta do what you say. The teacher was like, I was like, no. I just say that fast because your story, you say kinesiology major. I agree. You should live what you say, but sometimes people don't think that.
see, I like you said, like I believe if you want to have the credibility of a nutritionist or someone like health, you got to know what you're doing. If you know the concerns and everything else, you will help yourself first and then help others. That's why I say,
And it'll
that's,
go back to your mental game, right? It'll
yeah.
go back to the mental side of it.
So like you have to put yourself first to help others. If you don't help yourself first, then you are not going to help people others. So like I said, I'm just trying
And
to, yeah,
well, yeah. So because now I kind of forget where you were going because I totally interrupted. But I do know, I know. My bad, my bad.
we're good.
But I do know exactly where I wanted to go with that. The two things you said of consistency and communication, it ties into 2 points, and you can take this however you want. Where and one thing I wanna talk to you about was the difference of D3 versus D1 versus D2, which I know you yourself didn't practice in the other levels, but just as we stated and how the coaches are gonna tell you too that it's still pedal to the metal. It is hustle. It is we're weeding people out, seeing who actually wants to stay at any level, and you learn those skills with it. So the communicate and consistency, that is huge as you found out, and I'm still figuring out every day in the business, in the life setting to really evolve. And so hearing you say that really kind of even just makes me think about like, yeah, the consistency is something that I'm really seeing. I knew about consistency, but recently I found it at a whole new level for communicating specifically too. So those are the fact that you said those two are where you picked up are huge and important notes, I think, to jot down. That's why I wrote them down real fast, saying they're good.
Oh,
But
thank
but
you. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean you can take that wherever. But the thing I wanted to get was kind of your thoughts on that level that you're playing at and how much it did affect and go into everything else. So you can either talk about that level, talk about the communication and consistency now outside of the athletics too, because those are what you picked up or how you picked them up in football. Take it however, dude.
Yeah. So I do want to say for people or like high school athletes, um, so like majority and my especially my mindset, all the high school athletes want to go D1. That's their goal. They want to go D1. They want to go to the league. They want to go everything. But sometimes athletes feel like I think personally that's why I felt some athletes might think I'm at D2, I'm at D3, I'm not good enough, I'm not this and that, I'm not Division 1, I'm not in like the cameras, the lights, the action, all that. Like I'm like it's like their mental state goes down because they're not getting that appraise or the appraisal of I'm going D1, you know, and because you see people who say offers, I got D3, and you see barely people pull likes. You barely see people say, people say you got some supporters say, hey, good job, everything else, and like, but you don't see like majority of people against like D1 athletes like you'll say, 10,000 likes. Congrats, good, go Hawkeyes. Like I remember the
Yeah,
Murray brothers in high school, and like they were like not getting like much likes. They were not getting. They went to JUCO, and now they went to D1. It's like boom, just like that. So it just like for all high school students, if you go to D3, D2, it's okay. because you can still go to the league no matter what. D2, D3, NIA, it don't matter. You can still go to the league. For example, there's a JUCO player at Iowa Western. He just got signed to the Saints. He gets signed to the Saints.
And to just to build off this, so don't forget your train of thought. With the new NIL deals and everything, the while the mental game is changing here, and we're bringing this to the attention, the game itself is changing drastically.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to go to the D1 right away because transferring and anyone who you go to JUCO or you go to D3, you put on that weight, you learn a little bit more of what it is, you build all the other skills. Now you're more suited to the higher levels or even just to the pros, like you're saying. So
Yeah.
it's a whole nother game. I'm glad you're bringing that up, that it's going to be looked around differently. And the Murrays, yeah, great story there. No one
Yeah.
saw him, flashy, talked down on till okay, here we go. And then they just keep proving it wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
exactly your point.
Exactly. And like I said, I talked about the Western Iowa Western quarterback. He just got signed to the Saints. And it's crazy because, like I said, that just give perspective to all you high school students if you're listening to this. You got the chance. It doesn't matter if you go D1, like I said, D1, D2, D3, NIA, JUCO. It don't matter. You can make it to the league if you put yourself. Like I said, if you communicate with your coaches and put consistency, the two C's: communication and consistency. Again, communication and consistency. If you put those into your field and off the field, I'm telling you, make it. You know, for me, yeah, I love football. I even think I want to go to the league, but after that injury, I realized I have another path I got to do, and everyone's path is different. You can like we need doctors, we need physical trainers, we need all that. Everyone not everyone can make it to the league. Like is God has given you a gift for something. You have a gift or something. Not everyone has the same gift. We're all different people. We're all different skin color, different backgrounds. We're all different for different gifts. Like for me, I'm good at networking now. Like that's must be my gift. Like really my gift. Like I like to talk to people. I like to meet people. So like, yes, football was awesome for me, but like I have another gift. And like I'm not trying to bash on sports, but like you have the gift on certain things like that was gonna empower you, make you like good, everything else. And like, yes, D1's awesome. NIL is awesome. You want to have the money. You want to have the fame. You want to have to help your family. Because I've seen a lot of D1 athletes be able to buy themselves a car, $50,000 chains, get their parents' homes. Like Travis Hunter, this Baylor bought their parents' homes. Like I don't know, it's just so much. They get into so much money, and it's like, dang, I wish I could do that, but you don't have to be D1 to make some money. You know, D3 does some NIL. It doesn't matter. It is not D1. D1 is like, yeah, you have because that sponsorship is really big screens. They make good money. They're all over TV, so it makes sense. But D3, D2, you can still make some money too. You just got to put
Hmm.
your face out there. You know, you got to put
Well,
you got to put your face out there. Like I said, communicate consistency. Two C's. You got to put your face out there. Like I know a guy named Tony Gomez. He used to play for running back at Cornell College. Great player, amazing player. I know another guy, a sophomore, Julius Jenks, D end. Them two players are really good. Tony's already graduated college. He's all done. He's going to be a PA. Julius has a chance. He, to me, in my mindset, he's like a D1 guy because he's consistency, having communication. He's consistency in the gym, consistency on the field, consistency off the field. And like that guy is like, okay, he wants to play. He's getting his face out there. He can have a chance to go to the next level if he wanted to. If you don't have that consistency, like you can't say, "Well, I'm not making it." Like my sister always told me, like I didn't make it to volleyball varsity. Why didn't I make it? This and that, this and that. I'll be like, "Did you put consistency?" You say, "Yes." Okay, I tell you, you're not putting enough. You're not doing it enough because consistency literally helps you. There's literally no cheat code, no like anything. It's literally consistency. Consistency will help you get somewhere you really want to be. We're all human. We're all like a borderline. We might have some physical, like, don't have like some physical things, but if you have the consistency, you will make it. Like there was a five, 6 running back who plays for Cowboys. I think that
yeah.
he's not sure. Now, he's at the NFL league. Like that does not tell you that it doesn't matter who you are, how tall you are, bigger you are, or it doesn't matter. You got to put consistency. That's why I admire all like my teammates who put consistency work. Like, if you don't put your face out there and put that consistency, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to bash all your players. I'm not trying to bash anything. It just, if you put consistency, I'm telling you, you will make it to the next level. Like, I'm in the college level, but my season is over. But I'm telling you, if you do it, you're able to play, able to get your face out there. So, um, that's what I think.
I like it. You definitely have some passion for it too, right?
Yeah.
It's undoubtedly you have some passion for it. Probably it's probably you've seen it probably transform what you've been doing up to this point. Is those are kind of what you are living by, I assume, right?
Yeah. Like I went through so much like ups and downs. Like I've been through the dating breakups, and now I'm not saying I don't want females right now, but I'm a single man that's just like enjoying the moments right now. I and like I've been trying to like get better at myself, you know. I'm trying to like I said, mental health. Because I went through a breakup like 4 months ago. I went through a hard like depression, like hard depression, and like luckily spiritually in my Christianity, I put into everything God, so everything got better. And but like a little bit of it was like maybe I should go back to sports because mind you, I have the option to go 5th year to play football again. But in my back of my head was like, you should not because you have something more than this, you know. And I want to do more for my mental health and growth because I want to grow from my old shell to a new shell. And yeah, man. I
So
don't
would
know.
you
I just
say
yeah,
so let me ask you this.
yeah,
About 4 months ago, right? A little
yeah.
another hard time. Would you say out of those each hard time, you have reached a new level of drive, a new level of growth, but not even just because those are kind of the inactions, and those really should be if we're looking at the mental side and all that stuff, what we focus on. But I want to highlight the gems, the gold in the path. Each of those darker times, those where you started climbing up those stairs, have they produced some type of fruit? Have they showed some more gold, some more diamonds now at that next level? And then you're just going to keep going up the staircase per se.
Mhm,
But through those harder times, when you look back now, were
mhm.
those really what kind of catapulted the newest level of Sam?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
I definitely bet you, people from high school will be like, "Dang, Sam, you're really different." Like all my friends was like, "Sam, you're a really different person," because all the hardships, the breakups, the pain, the sorrows, the joy, the happiness, it leveled me up to get a better person. And not just that, it's just the people who you hang around with. People you hang around with, or you that's the person you're gonna be. If you hang around with business owners, you will be a business owner. If you hang around with people who are athletic and faster than you will learn how to be faster with them. So that's the thing.
That's a huge point.
Yeah, you have to like. I grew by community and on my own by from past experience because that helps me to be a better person. If someone asks me a question, say, "How do I do this?" Because I have the credibility to help this person because I went through the same system. I'm just helping them get further ahead of me that I didn't do. Because people are different. All of us
Yeah.
are different. And like,
Yep.
we're on different levels. You probably level 100, I'm probably level 50. So
I
like
don't know about that.
well, yeah, a scenario, but like I'm just saying that everyone is different and everyone can teach each other they don't that I don't. We all have something you have that I don't have. I have something I have you don't have. And like I've been building myself, learning myself. Because ever since that breakup, like that was a hard breakup, me personally. And this is not even like sports related. It's after since that breakup, I've been trying to like level up. So I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you see my pages on Instagram, but like I've went to Japan like a couple months ago.
I did not actually
Yeah.
put that
Yeah.
together. I mean, I actually had some stuff on your Instagram that I was going to ask you about uh later on if it came up, but
Yeah.
I did not know about the going to Japan.
Yeah. I was in Japan for a month. and I was just traveling to like Kyoto, Tokyo, Kanazawa, Mount Fiji, Osaka, Hiroshima. I was everywhere, and I was like, I'm learning so much, and I'm leveling up. Like I have, like I said, networking. I network with 30 people, 30 Japanese people, maybe two French guys, two Austrian guys, and like rest Japanese people. It was like, hey, I kind of like this. I'm actually leveling up, and not only that, I have the time to like for opportunities because, and this is a advice for all high school students or anybody else who's going to like move on and start something new. Start get connecting with people that you don't know. Start a conversation with people you don't know. Because if you don't start a conversation with,
Let me ask you this. You can then go on. We'll pick it up with, and then if you don't start a conversation, a lot of times, especially right now, that's scary for people, right? Right. And I'm all about facing the fear, but then here, especially on what I do, mental exercise, how do you actually do it? One thing to tell someone, another thing to do it. So I totally agree that traveling and getting all those that communication and talking to people there worth the time. It's like I said, that's why I think we're both on level 50, Sam. I mean, I'm learning just as much from you, but that's things for people to learn and pick up and do. So how do you actually get over that scared mindset of, ooh, do I
Mhm,
want to talk to this guy? Do I want to call
mhm,
them? How do
mhm,
I do this? Like,
mhm.
because that's something that people do go through now, or they see
Yeah,
someone.
yeah,
I choose, you think it's that easy, but for a lot of people, it's
yeah,
not, right?
yeah.
So how do you do
Um,
that? Tie that into, where you were going, right? People don't always.
I say the way I did it, I got out of fear because at first, before I met people, I like my business owner, like business partners, I did not want to talk to people. I was like that guy was like antisocial. Like I would talk to athletes back in high school, but not like all the people. You know what I'm saying? Like my guys are like, hey, let's take with the group. You know, people are weird or something like that. But I have to grow out of my shell for that. So the way I did it is books, second, audiobooks, third, try it and practice. Because the books, I'm telling you, books are like I hated books in high school. Not gonna lie, I hated books. But after I grow, like books are actually needed for all humans because they have like keys to unlock your brain to learn something new. Like no wonder people saying big words on dictionary because they read the book. And like I just learn from it and then apply it to practice in person. Like to only way it's like saying I want to ask a girl out. If you really like to ask that girl, your mind will tell you to do it. You have to do it. Physically, your body was like, no. Mentally, your body wants to go, yeah. But back to it is you have to do it. First, like if you're gonna fail either way, if you're not be successful, I tried to talk to people at first time. I was so trash. I would stutter. I was like, or like I would like tab, do this. Like I would like, literally struggle. Like I can make a phone call right now. I'd be like, oh no, no, right, well, not right now. It's better, but back then, oh my gosh, people like, what are you saying? What are you doing? Like I'm just trying to get words out. I'd be struggling, or in person, I'd be like fidgeting, looking around. But you have to just practice, because you might not see that person again. You don't know, and that next person probably way better for you. You're just practicing life. Just practicing. Life is not all about success. You fail to reach success. You fail to reach another level. Because as you reach after reach after reach after reach, you will be professional. After that professionalism, you will be like, oh, this is easy. I can talk to anybody. Like again, back in high school, I talked to a lot of people, but I just stayed close. I was very little antisocial. But now it's just like I can talk to anybody. Because if you don't have the chance to talk to people, I'm telling you, life is gonna be like, but I'm telling you, talk to as much people as you can. If you, even though if you're weird, sometimes I feel like I'm weird, but it doesn't matter. Like, there's no definition, or there's a definition of weird, but like, there's really no definition of weird because basically everyone's weird. I myself is weird. We act different. We do differently. We eat differently. We sleep differently. And people say, "Oh, it's considered weird," but not to me. It's not weird. Traditionally, people say, "Am I weird?" But not weird to me. So, like, take the action. Again, that's keyword action. Take your action, Because if you don't take action, you're going to be stuck in that same spot. Because you can read books, you can listen to audios, you can do all this, watch YouTube to learn stuff. But if you don't take that action, if you don't walk the walk, it's not going to work. So
Couple points on that. Where are the books? The books are like a glimpse, people's 20 years of their life they put in that book. So you are totally evolving the life, right? It's just like kind of putting on the muscle, right? Put on the
yeah,
muscle in the weight room. Like reading the books gets you that mental muscle. It gets you learning more, gets you doing it. But if you don't use the muscle, there's no point of having it, right? So you got to use the muscle. How I kind of help walk people through this is one of my favorites because you're saying take action, which I totally understand. And you don't really know how to do it till you do it. And then you
hmm
go do it more. And you're like, all right, this is what I need to do. I just need to do it more. But it's still hard. You tell people to take action. It's hard. I got this one called leaping confidence. And you said failing gets you forward. I like that failing forward motto. You got to fail. You're going to fall. You're going to go forward when you do it. But one that I really like is what I call leaping confidence. And how I paint this for people, paint that picture is if you've ever been like on top of a water slide, diving board, cliff, and you want to jump in that water, it's if you are scared of heights, it's pretty scary, right? But
yeah,
you gotta just quite literally jump off it the first time. Then the next time you go back up, it's not quite as scary. You jump off it again. And then the more you do the leap, the more you build that confidence. So you literally just have to leap. I'll get the number on my phone if it's someone big that I need to call. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking like, I want to call this person. Like, oh man, what am I gonna say? You gotta leave. I leave. I press the phone number after I, prepare a little bit. But I press the phone number. I'm like, all right, we're going. That's my leap. And it's like that with everything. You're sitting on the sideline, like you're saying, like to talk to someone or for the game, right? New play, whatever, new exercise. You gotta just jump into it. You gotta push yourself in that. That's the best way I have found to take the action. So then people actually go do it, right? So they go do everything we're talking about, that communication, the consistency behind it. Your C's, your two C's. I love it. I love it, Sam.
yeah, probably.
Water break.
Well,
So one other thing that I'm so curious about is, and you can take this where you want, but everything you learn and it's applying to other things. And you said everyone has their own thing, but what's like on the books for Sam? What is on the books for you, man? What do you put in works? You can share what you want to share what you don't.
hmm
Understand when you're starting stuff, you don't put it all out there till it's ready. But you obviously have built all these traits up. Your identity was football player. It still is. You're still a football player, right? I mean, you're never not once you do it. You're
yeah,
also a soccer player. You're also like all this stuff, like because you go play. You're an athlete, but you also built all these business skills through it, and that's something so huge that we don't think about. But if you can get through the sports and you actually take stuff away from it, it's going to help
yeah,
you out in so many different things.
yeah,
So what's kind of like what's up next, dude? I know you had some
yeah,
jobs, but
yeah.
like you just talked to 30 people in Japan. And then I want to spin this back around to everyone closest to you. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it.
Okay. Yeah, man. Like, so currently, currently to look for a job. Well, no, not currently. I have 4 offers. I just got to accept each one. I know which one I'm going to do. But long term, I'm currently have a business, small business. It's not that big. It's e-commerce. But long term, I'm trying to. I'll soon enough. I will have the title to my name. Well, the name's already out for myself. It's called Exodus, or short Exolifts. So this is a gym for people with disabilities, and it ties with your mental health because if you think about it, people with disabilities go through a lot of hardships in mental health because they can't move their body, they can't do anything as much. They usually need assistance to do stuff. And like, have you seen anyone with disabilities with a gym? Nobody. Rarely, maybe you see one or two. But like, my mindset is long term to build something because, like, again, this comes with networking because I have connections to build this dream. I have literally had connections to build this dream, and like I said, I have professional app like only Chris, yeah, them two, and then Corbin. And then I know two CEOs so far who owns big businesses, and then people from Japan, and then international students, the state capital legislators. Now, I tie all these things up. I tie all these things up to help something big, to create something, because they have resources I can use to build something big. Because this is a gym for people with disabilities. This is a gym for also non-disabilities, but majority focus on disabilities. Because I can have the research, the grants, everything else for this gym. And it's going to take years to create this because it's a lot of research, a lot of work, because there's certain workouts can be some limitations for certain people. Like I'm trying to focus on physical disability. So if people can kind of like maybe walk a little bit or anything, I can still work with that. But long term, it'd be more focused on learning more. But it's for people of physical disabilities, because they deserve to have their enjoyment and not worry about mental health. They deserve to enjoy life, and they might, like I said, mental health. They say, I can't do this no more. It sucks, or like anything else. Like I can't do this like everybody else. Like you're a person, and you're beautiful. You are. All right, you're a person. You're beautiful. You are. And I want to create a space for you guys because you guys deserve to live. You're like human like us. You deserve to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And we're just all human. And this space is for you guys. Like, again, us non-disability people can go still go to the gym. There's always be a section. But like long term, it's for people with disability because they deserve a space. They deserve to work out. They deserve to do something they cannot do, think they're not able to do. And that's just like, again, that's long term. And then so far, I don't know. I'm trying to travel this summer since I'm done with college. I'm trying to travel more. I'm trying to explore. Ever since Japan, is like I want to like open my brain a little bit and see what other countries are. Like for example, I'm thinking about maybe go to Puerto Rico. I'm thinking about maybe checking that there. I've been to like 14 states, 15 states so far in America. Uh, and so far, my favorite, Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful state. Um, but yeah, I just want to explore and just build my dream, build a dream for other people because I would like to put others before myself. Because Japan taught me that actually, because Japanese people put others first than
Have you
themselves.
read have you read the Toyota Way or any Japanese derived books?
No,
You'd find some interest in those. They have a lot. They have quite a few lessons, and if you've been to Japan, then it'll even hit you even more. We can cover that later too, because a couple points of what you've been saying, and just want to let you know, Sam. Like I see like exactly myself a couple years ago, like in everything you're describing. So, getting the connections, the mentors, the people to build it up, man, that's gonna be awesome to see what happens here as you keep going through it. It'll be sick because I know exactly kind of where you're at right now with it
yeah,
all, and you just keep it going. But the point in that, I want to tie it back to where it's going to go, how you're
okay.
doing it.
Mm,
And it comes from something you said earlier of the people around you, right? That's where it goes. And talking about Japan, one of my good buddies, best buddies, went to Japan for like two weeks, right? And so kind of like you, he did that this year. And when you do stuff like this and you take those breaks every once in a while, sometimes it can open things up. Learn that one from McConaughey himself. If you haven't read his book, that's also a good one. But sometimes you gotta let go and you can't just be after it, which is what you're doing. But I bring this all back because it ties back to you're talking about you're the closest. You are the people that you're around. And I see this time and time again, hear it from all my mentors and then the mentors I have online, where people around you are who you're going to be. And sometimes that means grow in that circle. Sometimes that means, I don't say burn the bridge, but certain bridges you just don't cross as much anymore. And I say all this because my closest friends from the longest time, and because we've stayed friends, we're also friends because we're all chasing what we're doing. We're not being held back by anything. We have that drive, that motivation, and we're also not saying we're like, "Hey, you wanna hang out?" And someone's like, "No, I gotta do this tonight, like, I'm not hanging out." And we're like we maybe give them a little bit of crap, but we're not like, "Dude, come on." We're like, "Ah, alright." And then we're like, "Yeah, that's fine, get you." 'Cause it is the people you're around make it such a huge point.
Mhm.
And so I guess where I was going with that, just like as your future goes and how you've had the past and you've had a lot of friends, but how has that helped you out the most? Because 'Cause I'm assuming it's helped you out, but where have you seen it help out the most? Because it sounds like you have opened up the door to learn and have a lot more people in your life to reach those next levels that everyone dreams about,
Mhm.
but you're putting in the work to do it, right? Just like you put in all the work on the field to get better on the field. So I'm just curious, like, what are some of the biggest things you've taken from that or learned from that? Where have you seen it, you know, of the people around you, your environment and everything else?
Yeah. Well, all my friends from high school are like separated. Like all they are doing their own stuff. They're all doing their own journey. So like I don't really see them. So it has to be like I have me time to focus on myself. But there's times I have to like I have to burn the bridge on certain people because they're not helping me. There's like it's hard for myself to let go of somebody, but it's to only way to involve or like increase yourself, your levels. It's to like burn bridges if it's not helping you, you know? Because like I said, we're all human. We are meant to do something more. Like again, I'm not trying to bash on jobs, trying to not bash on like places, but like we're meant to do more. Like I got nothing to say with that part because we were meant to do more. And you just gotta if you really want to grow and do something better for yourself, do something for your family, or do something that you never knew you would be at, you have to cut stuff down. If it's like cutting expenses, you have to cut expenses. If it's some cutting down anything that's pulling you down, you have to cut that down. And that's how to grow from. Because, as for example, I was a picky eater before, and when I got to Japan, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't want that. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, my mind was like, this might be a chance you maybe never come back, or you don't know. So when I did, I tried every single food as possible. But I tried oyster. That was disgusting. So don't try oyster. Definitely don't try oyster. But I tried every single food as I possibly can. Like, it was delicious. And it's like, it tells you like you have to like explore, cut things down that's not helping you, because that's who I am right now. That's the person I am right now, and like I hope this mentality and this maturity might attract someone mature, attract maybe a business owner, attract people who wants to be like me and want to be stronger like me and willing to like involve like me. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, and due to that, you know, the other my whole message is the way I present the athlete's health and everything is it's like a mental gym. It's our phrenomic gym. Time over time, it's strength, it's all that stuff, stoicism, but it's also there's another side to it while you're building the reps, getting the mental muscles, everything else. It's almost also like a computer, and I've learned this from other people, but your brain, obviously, right? And you don't have to know neuroscience or anything to know this, but the most complex computer out there, right?
Hmm.
It's your OS, just like got our OS is here.
Yeah.
It's your operating system, and every once in a while that operating system upgrades, right? Or it gets held behind. This is an older phone, right? This is an older one. So we have to be constantly upgrading that OS and reprogramming it. And there are ways to do that. And sometimes it sounds a little funky, but in psychology and performance psychology and all this neuroscience, everything,
Yeah.
it is very applicable. And if your brain is your biggest computer, the supercomputer, we have to be reprogramming it and everything that you're saying of trying the new stuff. That's a little tiny challenge that then reprograms it to make it better. It's those little micro thoughts that if we think, "Oh, I should be consistent with this today," but that we don't, or like, oh, I should talk to this person and communicate with them, but we don't. All of a sudden, that OS system is really thinking like, maybe I'm not going to do that. And instead of that step up, I'm always thinking you're growing or you're dying. You're going down, and that OS is getting at least not upgrading with the life and with everything else. So it's hearing you say that you just keep doing it, and we're meant for more things. It's that OS keep upgrading, and it's to the person to if they're upgrading it or not, which is that's one where I don't know if I have an answer for it. Some people want that upgrade. Some people don't don't look to upgrade it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
That's one thing that I'm still working on figuring out, but you can't help everyone, I suppose, you know?
yeah, yeah. You cannot help everyone. Like everyone is different, and like if people is willing to grow, they're willing to grow. If people are not willing to grow, okay, let them be. Because everyone's different. Again, we're not the same person. We're not the same. Ideas, our mentality is way different. So it's like it's okay if you don't want to grow, but you have to start moving your feet somewhere. You must have a plan somewhere because we're human. You can only get one life. That's why I kept to myself. You only get one life, and like I told myself, like I got time. I can do this anytime I want. I'm about to turn 22. Soon enough, I'll be 30. Soon enough, I'll be 40. Soon I'll be 70. And then once you get to older age, it gets harder to do stuff because your physical the limitations is going to be getting at you. So, like, I'm telling you, yes, explore, do all this stuff. By me personally, I said you should grow. You could be, you have so much gift potential. Baseball player, football player, softball player, any sport, you have potential. You just got to grow. And like I said, two C's: communication and consistency. Communicate with people you need help who can help you get better, and be consistent because you have the power, you have the capability. Again, we're all the same playing field and no one's special. The only people who say they're special is they're consistent. 5 stars, 3 stars, 1 0, don't matter. Some stars they have 0 stars and they kept consistently and they make it to the NFL or the MLB or the NBA. It's all about that. So it's all about that consistency and it's like just try your best to grow at least 1% every day. 1%. You don't need 50%. You just need 1% every single day because 1% is better than 0% or negative or 0 point. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, don't overestimate what you can do in one day and underestimate what you can do in the year, right? I mean, that's probably what you've seen throughout your past 2 years, since you've had some crazy milestones happen, some crazy changes in your life. Uh, for the last couple things, Sam. So first off, we'll wrap up. We'll see any biggest take home for you if we missed any lessons, anything of that sort. But before you get into that, I'm really curious, just by your insights here, your wisdom. Favorite book? What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? The Dream Giver. The
Dream
Dream
Giver.
Giver. I can't remember the author's name. The Dream Giver.
I
So
don't know this
basically,
one. I'll look it
so,
up.
so the Dream Giver basically talks about a guy. He's a dreamer, and we have other people are not like I can't remember the titles, but it's like different types of people are basically stopping your dream. You know, it's just the people who wants to keep it normal, like normal. But it's this guy who has a dream. He wants to do something more, and he follows intuition that there's something more I want to dream. That's the dream I want to reach. But there's people around them say, you don't have to do it. Just be normal like us. Just be like us. Don't be like yourself. Be like us. And they be people say, no, this is terrible. You got like critics or like people say, no, this is trash. Your dream sucks. You can't do this. But the dream giver, that guy was like, I still have that dream. I still have the institution, but the intuition is like, I want to go further away. Um, so he just follows his dream, reaches his dreams. And like, if you want to read the book, you just got to read it. I can stop it from there because I can't spoil everything. But The Dream Giver, my favorite book, and another one, Chop Wood Carry Water. Chop Wood Carry Water. So
Chop
that's
Wood, Carry Water. I've heard that one. I
yeah,
haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
it's
I
good.
haven't heard of your Dream Giver, but I'll look into it. Sounds I've crossed it, read I've heard some of that similar stuff. And I've seen it for sure, 100%.
Mhm.
Sam, final like take home message, biggest take home message, anything we missed? What do you got for me? What do you got on the podcast?
Okay. Final take home message.
Yep, I ask it every time.
Besides, besides, consistency, communication, I say just do you. Just to be honest, there's no really much to say. It's life is simple. You just gotta do you. Um, don't try to be someone like someone else. Don't try to be like if you want to be a songwriter, don't be like someone sound like somebody else. If you want to be a football player, don't be trying to be like somebody who's a football player. Don't if you want to be an artist, don't be like trying to be an artist. Don't be similar to them. Be you. Because soon enough, maybe in the future, you go one on one with them in the future on a professional level, like football. Like soon enough, like King and Chris Murray. Every time I see them, like they play high school basketball, JUCO basketball. Now they're playing an NBA. Now they're facing the players, their favorite players they go against right now. So just be you, because soon enough, maybe you go competition with the person you have a role model with. Because that is life. You're gonna have competitions left and right, but you just gotta be you and be the best. So that's all that I gotta say, to be honest.
Yeah, you're making me reflect on some of the things that's happened this year for me too. I mean, that's right on. I mean, yeah, it's true. You don't always realize it. So I appreciate you for reminding me on some of that stuff,
Oh, you good?
and it's very true. How could people find you if they had any questions for you? If they had any questions, because you were this might be wrong, but are you the first person in your family to graduate college or no?
Yeah,
You are, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. So people have questions about athletics, about doing something that they want, about college or anything else of the sorts. How could they talk to you about that? How could they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It is Tokpa, Stokpa 242, or you can find me on Facebook, Samuel Tokpa, LinkedIn, Samuel Tokpa too. My name is literally just literally put my name,
Yeah.
full name. I'm literally everywhere.
Yep.
So you can find me anywhere. It's easier for me if you reach me on Instagram because my account's public, so anyone can follow me. Um, my goal is to get people to like, if you need anything, just text me because again, people deserve to do more. And again, I didn't learn from myself. I just learned from people, and this, if you can learn some insights from me, you can learn something for yourself and you learn other people, domino effect, so again, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Um, yeah, that's pretty much. So,
Cool, Sam. Well, dude, we're right about at that hour mark, so gonna get going, gonna get out of here. But I appreciate you for being on here, dude. Learned a lot from you. This is very applicable. I'm very glad we got this going. And like I said, you're the first person I've had on here for a little while because the business has really kind of picked up. And so I had to, you got to give and take. Like you said, sometimes things get chopped down for a little bit, but build it back stronger. That's how I like to think about it. Don't let
yeah,
it go. And yeah, we'll keep it going, dude. We'll keep this bridge open for sure.
yeah,
I like this
yeah,
connection, man. We'll
yeah,
be talking. So that's all I have for you. Thank you
yeah,
for being on the
yeah.
Mental Performance Playbook. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Gabe, for letting me in for this special moment because it's great. Help some people and create some perspectives on life. So, I want to thank you for letting me in for today. So,
Yeah, dude, of course. All right. Peace.
all right, catch you later.